Welcome in once again, everybody. Welcome to Bulldogs Live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We're all over the place, and I am so happy to have with us tonight the Bulldogs' very own Michigan Magic man, Avery Hayes. Avery, thanks for the time, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Now, we're going to do the same thing for everyone that was with us for the Nathan Staios interview. We're going to have questions live for Avery Hayes. So, again, I can see all your comments here. You can leave a comment on this video as we're going along. I will ask Avery your questions live. We've also got viewer questions coming in, as well as a couple of games that we're going to play with Avery Hayes tonight. And, of course, this is all presented by our wonderful partners and friends at First Ontario Credit Union. Can't thank them enough. This would not be possible without their support. So, Avery, as we get into all this tonight, first of all, how's everything going in the time away from the game?
It's good. It sucks being away, but been just working out, catching up on some very important schoolwork, and hanging with my family. Just trying to get busy.
Definitely a positive. And very early on, actually, we've got one for you from Grandma Jan, who says, "Hi Avery, love you." And Christine Phillips is missing her favorite customers at Romano's Cheese. Sorry, a couple early ones right away. And for those looking on with us last week, yes, I did get a hair done by my wife, actually. So thanks to her for at least not making me look like a caveman for the second week in a row. If your brother in the first round of the Ontario Hockey League draft gets picked by the Flint Firebirds, obviously that one's going to be close to home for your family. What was it like to have your brother selected in the OHL draft and seeing that?
It was amazing because I know how hard he worked this season. I was hoping for him to fall a couple picks later to Hamilton. Not gonna lie, it was like four picks. I think I had my fingers crossed, but he's excited. It's close to home, and he's excited for the opportunity.
I think there were a lot of people watching the draft and wondering about that as the picks were rolling through and you got to 15, 16, and the Bulldogs are there at 21, that maybe Gavin Hayes coming and reuniting the brothers. Bulldogs had a great draft. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But obviously it's something your family and yourself have to be very proud of. I know if it was my brother going to the first round of the OHL draft, I would certainly be taking a lot of the credit for it. I will be telling him that everything he knows is because of you.
I don't know about that, but I've definitely taught him a few things. But it's good. It's exciting. I'm excited to play against him next year. It's only twice, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun to see the two of you on the ice together. And, of course, we've seen that before in Hamilton. Actually, former teammate of yours, Matt Strome, got kind of robbed of that a couple of times where Dylan, his brother, was called up to Team Canada for the juniors and wasn't available when the Bulldogs and the Otters would cross. So likely you guys will at some point get to play against one another, although I could see the World Juniors in the future for either one of you, to be quite honest.
Hopefully.
Now, in the time away from the game, have you been keeping up with other guys from the team?
Yeah, we all text and we have a group chat on Snapchat, and we'll send like pictures and videos in there and just talk and see how everyone's doing. And then I'll play NHL with some of the guys, Fortnite with some of the guys. We all stay in touch.
Well, and that's fantastic. And of course, we've got some of that interactive fun coming up on our Bulldogs Live editions. Nathan Staios, in fact, tomorrow night, 8:00. We'll be playing NHL 20 live on the PlayStation 4. Liam Van Loon, Avery's longtime line mate, will be on NHL 20 on May the 14th at 3. And then on Thursday, May the 21st, Tag Bertuzzi and Arthur Kaliev playing NBA 2K20. If they're going head-to-head, Avery, who's got the advantage there? Is that Arthur or Tag?
It depends. Arthur's put a lot of money into the game, so if they're using their My Career guys, I got to go with Artie. But I think Tag might be more skilled, so if they're using just teams, I go with Tag. But
is there anyone on the planet as competitive as Arthur Kaliev?
No. He'll on the bus, he'll be playing NHL. You hear him screaming on the back if he loses. FIFA, anything.
I've heard it. It is entertaining.
Yeah, he's a character.
A great question early on here from Jamie Lawson. What advice would you give to a young American player like Ryan Humphrey about playing in Canada and the OHL? Also, since you were both from the Honey Bake program, did you guys already know each other?
Actually, so when the year before I came to Hamilton, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make the team like the spring. So I was still playing for Honey Baked as like a older guy, and he was younger. So we did a couple tournaments together, which was we got to know each other. Little did we know that we'd end up being teammates again. But I just tell him to play his game because the game translates over. It's not that big of a difference from USA and Canada. And we're good buddies. We always text and stuff. So if he ever needs anything, I'm there.
Now, Ryan is in 03, and obviously we saw this past year some of the players from that draft class made a tremendous impression, whether it be Ryan Humphrey himself, Ryan Winterton, who looks like he's going to be a sniper, Lawson Shirka, a 200-foot player, Mateo Drobak showed up. You feel for Mateo a little bit. He got thrown in a couple of emergency situations, but even still made some spectacular stops. But then you look back a year at your draft class, Avery, and the Bulldogs have already seen 8 members of that class play games in the Ontario Hockey League, headlined, of course, by yourself, Michael Renwick, Logan Morrison, Marco Costantini. What was it that made that group so special? And I think a lot of us saw it right away.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just made the right picks, and we're all the O2 guys are close. Renwick always jokes about it, calling us like the best draft class ever. But we joke about it, and we're all close. We're all competitive, so we push each other. And there's a lot of us that are good, and we're all the same age, so we like the same stuff. We like the same music, video games, so it's good to get along with them. It's good to have a bunch of guys the same age.
And it seemed like there was a little bit of everything in that draft class. The skill level that you bring and that Logan Morrison brings, the defensive style of Michael Renwick, where he's really rounding into a 3-zone player, strong, physical, shutdown defenseman in Frank Jenkins, power forward in Mark Duarte, great goaltender in Marco Costantini. Did it mean something to you guys that you were able to bring so many different styles together out of that one class and that we've already seen so much of it?
Yeah, it's a good blend of everything, honestly. So I just give credit to Steve and Ian and all the guys up there. They did a good job with that draft. That's impressive.
From Aaron Walsh, and I think we all know Aaron very well, the counter to me, the on-ice voice of the Hamilton Bulldogs, the great PA announcer, I think best in the league, and we've been in every building in the league. And Aaron says, I've been so impressed with your development, Avery. Name a teammate that you'd want on your line. A new teammate, pardon me, that you'd want on your line.
Like what do you mean, like new teammate?
Well, I think there may be a consideration for Jonathan Malee in this spot. I think
okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd be excited to play with him. I heard he's a good power forward, plays 200-foot games, strong, fast, big. So that'd be exciting. I think our games would fit well together.
Is there anybody that you haven't spent time with on the team, on the line so far that you'd like to try to play with? I know we've seen you with Logan Morrison, obviously tremendous chemistry right from day one. Liam Van Loon was great on the line with you guys. We've seen you with Brady Johnson, who unfortunately moved on in graduating, but you guys were creating quite the 200-foot combination there. Is there anybody you haven't played with on the Bulldogs yet you'd like to try with?
I've never played with Kaliev or Mishak, so I feel like that would be exciting because they think the game the same way as me, and I feel like our games would complement each other. But I don't really care. I'll play with anyone.
That would be fun. I would enjoy calling that. That would be quite entertaining. Alicia Morgan asks, aside from the obvious, what is the hardest part of the lockdown for you, and what are you doing to keep active and in shape?
Hardest part besides not having hockey, hanging with my friends, because the whole season, like, you're waiting to get back and hang with your buddies, but soon, hopefully, we'll see. And to stay in shape, I've been going to the track almost every day. I'll do a workout there, like speed and agility stuff on the track by my house, like 5-minute bike rides. And then I'll come back here and do like stuff with weights. And then I'll shoot pucks and just play basketball with my brothers and stuff. It's nice because I have 3 brothers, so we can have 2-on-2 for basketball and mini sticks. So it's nice.
That's fantastic. Okay, this is definitely a setup. Mstrom16 asks, favorite former Bulldog?
I got to go with Stromer.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah, hi, Stromer. But he's a beauty. Like, first year, he took me under his wing. I didn't get to go home much because none of the Michigan guys on the team had their license, really, that lived by me. Because me and Frank were both we were 15 to start the year, and so he took us under his wing, and we went to his house in Mississauga actually a couple times, hung out there, spent the night, played video games with him. We always played video games with him. He's a beauty. I love the guy.
When you look at the history of captains for the Hamilton Bulldogs, Justin Lemke to Mackenzie Entwistle to Matt Strome to Isaac Nurse, could you ask for a better group of 4 guys to have represented this team as captains?
No, I didn't know much about Lemke, but Macker, Stromer, and Nurse they're all great leaders. They lead by example and with their voice, so can't ask for anything. Can't ask for much better.
Troy Islikar chimes in with a question, and Troy actually, Avery, has you pegged as a 100-point scorer in your OHL career. I remember you said that in your rookie season, and I certainly didn't disagree. He says, hey, Avery, before the season ended, did you feel like you were back in terms of endurance and timing?
Yeah, that was hard because I missed 2 months, and then I came back, had like 2 practices, I think, but I felt my conditioning was good enough to start playing games. And I just started getting back in like the swing of things, conditioning wise and like mentally, because you gotta get used to the game speed again. Because when you're not playing, everything seems faster the first couple games. So I felt like I was just getting back in the swing of things. So it's kind of tough to be like working towards that for like 2 months and then have it taken away. But I felt like I was ready to have a good rest of the year in playoff run.
I think we were all looking forward to that too, especially getting you back at that moment as Jan Mysak had really found his game in North America, and it looked like we were going to be in for a real exciting playoff push. But clearly next year will be the target, and this team looks like it's going to be still a very young team, but one of the most exciting, talented teams around the OHL. This season, Avery, did you notice a difference in your game? Because it felt like you not only brought back that incredible offensive skill that we've seen from you, but became a key part of the penalty kill. You were shutting down some of the opposition's top players. Working with Brady Johnson seemed like you guys found some chemistry there. Have you really seen your 200-foot game really round out?
Yeah, I feel like my rookie year, I felt like I had that like offensive spark always, but I just needed to work on maturing my game. And that summer, I really tried to work on like focusing, like watching film and stuff on like things to do in the D zone and PK. And then actually, like early on in the year, I remember I didn't think I was gonna PK or anything like that year, because the year before I was just known as like an offensive guy. But I always knew I had like if I had this shot, I would be pretty good at it because I have a smart mind and like a good stick. So I asked Maddie, I'm like, can I try to PK for like the practice? And he said, sure, go for it. And I did really good. And he's like, wow, we're going to try to have you in a couple games. And then preseason, I did good too. And then I guess I built trust with him over the PK. So that was good. That was a good experience. I feel like that'll help me not only on 5-on-4, but 5-on-5 too, thinking like defensively in the D zone. But yeah, my game's matured a lot, and it still has some room to improve though. So I'm excited for next year.
I think coach would love it when players come up to them, especially skill guys, and ask, hey, can I jump on the penalty kill? I think that's got to be pretty good for coaches.
Yeah, I just wanted to find a way to get on the ice. So
spoken like a true hockey player. Kennedy Reed asks you, hope you're both doing well. Thanks, Kennedy. Did any players on the team help you develop at this level? You already mentioned Matt Strome, but who else on that first team that you played with here in Hamilton really made a big difference?
We had a lot of guys actually. Just like watching, like obviously guys like Lands, and we had Mattinen for like the first half, watching how they like, because they're both older guys, watching how they work. And we actually had Gleason for preseason, and he was a Michigan guy too, so he was a real nice guy to me. And then for forwards, we had Sajin. Watching how he would find open spots in the zone and just get open. He'd find a way to score no matter what. Obviously Arthur, he was still, it was his second year at the time, but you can still learn from guys like him. Yannick, he was probably the best player in the league for the first until World Junior, until he left. He was he was the best player in the league, I'd say.
I don't think there's any doubt at this point. I for sure he was.
Yeah, and then guys like Strome, he's one of the smartest hockey players I've ever played with. And then the Nurse, just watching how he gets into bodies and like in the neutral zone and on forechecks. And then Macker, the way he leads and plays a unreal 200-foot game. just watching guys like that, it helps. And then there's obviously guys my own age like Mishak and Morrison, Tag. Who else am I forgetting? Van Loon. Just watching guys like that. You can learn from anyone.
You just list all those names. You think of the skill that the Bulldogs have been around 5 seasons, and the number of skilled players that we've already seen roll through that are going to make impact at the next level and beyond. It's really something special to think about when you look at all that.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Jamie Lawson says, how big of a thrill was it to score the teddy bear toss goal? Was there any wagering on who would score it?
It was a great feeling because my mom and my grandma actually came to the game. They don't come to a lot of games. They maybe come to like 4 games a year. The 2 Michigan games, and then Sarnia. And I wasn't there for Windsor, and then they try to make like a couple of home games. So it was a great feeling scoring and then seeing them in the crowd. And there wasn't. I don't think there was wagering. There might have been like something like if whoever scored it got like $20, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
That is one of my favorite moments every year because I get to use Release the Bears. It's the only time it makes sense on radio or TV, but it works out pretty well in that moment.
Yeah.
Sabrina Loon says, who do you find you play best with on your line? You don't have to say Liam just because he's my nephew.
Yeah, obviously I love playing with Lunar. I love playing with Bertuzzi, Morrison. Me and Morrison have been together for 2 years almost, and we seem to make some good plays out there, some exciting plays. I'll play with anyone. Johnson last year, Winterton for a bit. Like, I'll play with anyone. I feel like everyone on our team is really easy to play with. So,
well, that's got to make it really easy. One of the things that I noticed, especially on the trips, long trips specifically, Avery, when this team was on the road, you guys don't just tolerate being around one another. You actively enjoy being around one another. It's always fun. It's always entertaining to hear you guys joking around and having a good time. You guys are serious when you get to the rink, but it's a group that really seems to enjoy being around one another. And that was one of the hallmarks of the 2018 OHL champions. Feels like you guys have that same sort of chemistry building.
Yeah, we're all really close, which makes the road trips really fun when everyone's in the same room playing video games and stuff. And everyone on the team are great guys, and it'll be exciting to have basically everyone back next year to see what we can do.
Oh, I think it's going to be exciting. Jim De Silva writes in, who is your favorite NHL player?
Right now, Matthew Barzal. I just love the way he skates, the way he cuts, his hands, his hockey IQ, his passing. But all time, I'd go with Pavel Datsyuk. I've watched his highlights probably. There's like a 40-minute highlight video of all of his goals ever. I've probably watched it 4 times over quarantine. I can watch it over and over.
One of the most spectacularly skilled players to ever play the game. And that's one thing that I really want to ask you about. You mentioned Barzal's skating stride, yours. And I've talked to you about this before, but what do you call it? The Mohawk skating stride? I've heard it called the Eagle stride. Going 2-2 with your feet. Some players, now we've seen Antonio Strangis in London do it, and he almost does it as his regular stride. You have an incredible ability to be going at full speed straight ahead and then open your feet up. And speaking of someone who played all my life in the game as a defenseman, and don't ask me how people decided to put me on D, but if I saw a player do that coming at me, that could be one of the scariest things in the game because he can go anywhere from that moment. Yeah. Where did you do that, and how did you come up with that?
Well, actually, I've my skills trainer here, Kenny Brandt. Me and Antonio both skate with him in the summer. We skate together like every day almost. So we both learned from him. But it's just like a really deceptive move because the D-man, he'll step up on you, and then you still have the back. For me, it's my left leg. You can push off with it and go right around him. So it's deceptive. And then you can also cut back, and the D-man's just like they don't know what to do. They get flat-footed, and you can just burn them. Because if you're good enough at it, you can do it just as fast as like you normally skate. So it's like you're not losing any speed.
Flat-footed defenseman getting burned. You just set up my entire playing career. Where it goes sometimes. Troy Islikar says, any pregame rituals or superstitions?
I listen to music in the shower. I usually try to take a nap before games. I tape my stick the same way every time. I put on my left side of my gear every time before. I don't let my blade touch the ground before the game. What else? I can't think of any other ones. Every time I'm done with my shower before the game, I turn it on really cold and just sit there.
Whew.
Yeah, it's
That'll wake you up.
That's probably it. Yeah, it wakes me up. That's probably it though. I don't really have any crazy superstitions.
Those are some pretty good ones though. I've always done the left side thing first as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
how that's I'm stuck with it now, and I'm too old to change. So
yeah,
keep going with it. All right, Avery. One of the things that we know about you, big fan of the show Stranger Things. You were on the poster this year for the Stranger Things game. So Can we get you for a little bit of Stranger Things trivia?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. We got a few questions sent in, and Storm Harding, our wonderful, kind of jack of all trades for the Hamilton Bulldogs, set this up for us and did a great job. So we'll start off with, in which state is the show set?
Indiana. Yeah.
You got it. All right, he's 1-0. Question number 2. True or false? Hawkins, Indiana is a real place.
True.
Ooh,
dang!
false.
I didn't know that. I've never
All right, that one was a little specific. That you got to be a geography major for that one, because I would have as well.
Man, nothing to do with the show.
Question 3: how many episodes are there in the show's first season?
11.
You're close. It was 8.
Dang.
All right, let's see if we can get you something that's actually in the show.
Yeah.
In addition to Will, which other characters disappear in season 1?
11.
Barb.
Yeah. What? She was in it for one episode. Like one episode 2 seasons ago. It's because they gave me
I'm giving you points on just knowing she was only in one episode.
Yeah, I know what she looked like. She had red hair and freckles, and she got lost.
Okay, you remember that anyway. What sort of food does 11 shoplift from the grocery store?
I go waffles.
You got it. Yep. You got it. Nailed her.
I had the brand too.
Well done. Yeah, you were ahead of our question master on that one. How does Joyce begin communicating with her missing son?
I think she uses Christmas lights.
Wow. He even got Christmas lights. This is someone who knows the show, folks.
This is season 1 too. This is kind of tough. It's a throwback.
Avery Hayes is on fire right now. What is Dustin's girlfriend called?
Susie.
Yeah, he's got 3 in a row.
That's a new one. That's season 3. I remember those.
All right. What is the rule Hopper sets for 11 when Mike is at the house? This is one of my favorite moments in the whole series.
It's they have to keep the door open, right?
Do you remember exactly how far the door had to be open?
Was it feet or inches? 3 feet?
3 inches.
Yeah, I knew it. That's close enough.
Yeah, you had door open in 3. You're getting the points on that one as well. That's really good stuff. And finally, which monster do the kids have to fight in season 3?
Mind Flayer.
This is someone who knows the show. The Mind Flayer is correct. What is it about Stranger Things that speaks to you, Avery?
I don't know. I got hooked on like the first season. I remember watching it a long time ago, and I just like all the characters, and they're all kids, so it's like a Goonies sort of thing, except a little bit more like horror. If that's the word, like scarier.
Yep.
I like. Yeah, it's just exciting.
My wife actually got me hooked on the show. I wasn't sure about it at first, and now I am dying to new season. I can't
That
wait
was,
to.
that was the same with me. It grew on me. I didn't know at first, and then ended up becoming like my favorite show.
Bulldog chaplain Robin Bailey writes in, and you're going to like this one. Tell Avery I owe him Skittles for his trivia prowess.
How's it going, Robin? Yeah, when we do the chapel stuff, we do quiz before. We do like a quiz on all Hamilton stuff, and he'll pass out candy before.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I want to start hosting some trivia nights. Robin's Skittles. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. One more. Sorry, what was that?
It makes the guys try.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Be enough to motivate me, I'll tell you that. One more question before we take our halftime break. It comes from Katie Hines, and this is one I was going to ask you as well. What was it like to play in the 11-10 game in Sudbury?
It was crazy. Like the first period wasn't too high scoring, but then going into the second, after like some of the shots went in, it was just like everything was going in. And I was lucky enough to have a hat trick that game, so it was crazy. Tag had 4 goals in the OT winner, which was nasty. It was the craziest, probably the craziest game I've ever been in. I checked my phone after. I had texts from like guys on the team the year before. All my family, all my friends text me like, "What just happened?" It was crazy.
Now, I was thinking the same thing from the booth because that game started off, as you said, kind of ordinary. I think Hamilton was down 3-1 going into the first.
Yeah, 3 or 4-1.
And it looked like you guys had gotten some battle back by the end of the first period. And then I remember somewhere near the end of the second thinking, what in the world just happened? Yeah. And by the end of the third, I knew this thing was going viral. This was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was crazy. There was probably 10 more chances that could have went into. The score could have been 16-15. It felt like odd man rush after odd man rush. I don't know.
And I think historically, you kind of get the short end of the stick because you scored the hat trick. It was early in the game, and then Tag lights up for 4, including the OT winner. And it felt like everybody forgot that he had 4, but you also had a hat trick. And I thought you kind of got the short end there.
Yeah, I got a bit overshadowed, but yeah, I don't really care. We won.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, the Bulldogs got the 2 points, and that is what matters. All right, we're going to take a quick halftime break and want to once again remind everybody watching along that it is through our great partners and friends at First Ontario Credit Union that we are able to put these Bulldogs live shows on, and you can reduce financial stress and make life a little bit easier. Want to consolidate credit card balances or loans to make managing debt easier and more affordable? First Ontario's fully protected loan special with rates as low as 5.24% for a 5-year fixed rate is available remotely without the need to visit a branch. And of course, that's so important in the world we currently live in. Visit firstontario.com for all of your details. Our great friends at First Ontario Credit Union. Just to give you an idea as well of what is coming up here on Bulldogs Live. Our next episode will be on Friday morning. That is 11 a.m. Cameron Saprika, a second defenseman, will join the program as we kind of go back and forth between defensemen and forwards here in the first few episodes of the show. And that is going to be a lot of fun having Cameron on, somebody I've interviewed a few times before. And there's the rest of the schedule as it sits right now. Cameron Saprika, Friday, May the 8th at 11 a.m. Logan Morrison and Ryan Winterton, Friday, May the 15th at 4 p.m. And Friday, May the 22nd at 11 a.m. My birthday episode will feature Liam Van Loon and Tag Bertuzzi. So a whole lot of Avery Hayes line mates are involved in this whole setup as we get back to the show momentarily. And of course, once again, can't do it without our great, great friends at First Ontario Credit Union. Back in for our second half of the show. And Avery, one of the things that we wanted to get your opinion on is back as a rookie. there still exists a recording of you singing. And we are going, yeah, I see the smile, and I think you might know what's going on. So let's go back in time 2 years to a rookie, Avery Hayes.
I don't eat this and I'm losing. Oh, that got spit all over me. Is that good?
What in the world was going on?
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of frozen over here, but I'm glad it was. I didn't really get to see the video. I know my friends are probably gonna send it to me, but I
was told it was singing, but it was more. Now you may have been singing with it, but it was that game where you've got the plastic piece in your mouth, trying to. I not figure out what in the world you were singing or saying or what was going on.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I remember filming it though. It was fun, but I don't know what I was doing. I couldn't tell you.
It really feels like our players have so much fun with the different stuff you guys do behind the scenes, and that certainly was one of them. Do you remember who was there with you when you filmed that one?
I think it was like me, Frank, maybe like I think it was me, Frank, Morrison, and Renwick were all together for that grouping, the 402s that year.
That's an interesting group right there. I'll tell you. You can have some trouble with those three guys all in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, that's probably why I was laughing.
Yeah, I would imagine. Michelle McDonald wants to ask you, what do you miss most about playing?
Just like everything. Hockey's just like, it's such like a mind clear. When you're playing, you just forget about everything that's going on. But most specifically about playing in like Hamilton, I miss the fans. I miss like warm-ups. I miss skating on the ice and like hearing all the warm-up songs, giving everyone fist bumps, just getting ready for the games. Everything. I miss everything about hockey.
And talking about missing the game, and we talked earlier about how it felt like the Bulldogs were getting on to a point where this could have really been a role for this team going into the playoffs. A team that was coming together at exactly the right time with a whole ton of young talent, with Jan Nishak getting up to speed. You're back in the lineup, getting yourself back up to speed. As you look forward for a team that is clearly on the road to wanting to win a championship, have you had the chance at all to go back and watch the championship from 2018?
Yeah, actually, I was at the game that they won. They had a bunch of the guys from rookie camp there, and I remember, I'll never forget it. Before it was the last day of rookie camp. Steve said something to me about like if I wanted to make the team that year, and obviously I said like, yeah, I'm going to. I told him that's the plan. And he's like, good. Just imagine yourself being out there. And I remember doing that for like warm ups and everything. And it was crazy. I remember seeing how many fans were at the game. I had a buddy on the other team too, Kopaka. So it was good watching him play. But it was just like, I can't even describe what it would feel like to play like in front of that many fans and win with all like my best friends on the team. It would be the best feeling ever.
What was the feeling like for you after you got drafted, knowing you wanted to make the Hamilton Bulldogs, but having to leave Michigan to do it?
Yeah, I was actually I never really heard of Hamilton. It was during nationals for it was during nationals. We were playing Flex Academy, and like someone told me at intermission, and like I didn't know much about them. I knew that they had a couple Michigan guys on their team before, so I had them on like I was told like make a list of like teams that I'd like to go to, and they're obviously like up on the list. And it could have been like a lot further. There's a lot of teams further that are in the OHL from my house. Hamilton's like in between 3 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. So I was just excited to get to like meet everyone. I always knew I wanted to play in the OHL from the start. I wasn't supposed to like say anything. I was supposed to say I'm like 50-50, but I always wanted to play in the OHL. And then once I got to like, I think the first thing was like I talked to Steve over the phone, I think it was, and then I got to rookie camp and like met all the management, and everyone's like first class people, all the trainers and the equipment guys. I was excited after that. That's when I realized like what Hamilton was like and like the organization, how it was run.
And
So.
those are the guys that you just mentioned, and I think you nailed it, because we've talked about Steve and Ian and the incredible job that they've done with the organization. Of course, Michael Landlauer, in my estimation, the best owner in the Ontario Hockey League. You can call me biased if you want, but I truly believe that. And then, from our coaching staff, and then the equipment guys, and JP Lacey, Danny Bushy, Casey Lamore, those three names don't get mentioned enough. But every time I interview one of you guys, you always make the point to bring them up. How important are they to the success of the players on this team and the team itself?
Yeah, they're the core of the team. Without them, I don't know how we would do anything. They're always there for us. They're great friends too. They're not just like workers for the team. Everyone's close with them. They joke around with us. Without them, I don't know. Without JP, we probably wouldn't be. A lot of guys would be getting hurt. He cares for us a lot. He jokes around a lot. He's a big jokester. Everyone knows that, but he cares for us still. He's always checking in with us. And then without Case and Bushy, they like all the little things they do, just like around the locker room. It's amazing to have them.
I've been lucky enough to go up for dinner with those guys a couple of times when we've been on the road and get to know them, and they are certainly passionate about what they do, and they really believe in you guys and what you can do. And I think that makes all the difference, that everybody really gets along, and that you're just having a whole lot of fun with everybody being together, and those guys will have your backs 110%.
Yeah, it's a great feeling having them know they care for us and believe in us.
All right, let's go to game number 2 that we had for you. And this is going to be a setup of player drawings from kids that sent them in from the schools. And Avery, we're going to get you to guess who from the team they are. And I will give you a hint that one of them is you.
Okay.
So let's see if you can pick yourself. Number 1.
Does that say 90? Do we have no 13? Is that me?
That's you. You're 1 for 1.
The hair too.
I thought the hair might be the tip-off.
Yeah.
Between you and Tag Bertuzzi, do we have the best flow in the league?
Oh yeah, and then Gravy has good hair too.
Oh, that's right.
When I saw old pictures of Logan Morrison, you have to see him. It's like down to the shoulder maybe.
I think you've actually jumped ahead on what we're going to do when he's on the show. The night of the OHL draft that you guys were all picked, he came on TV with me with his hair down to his shoulders. Spectacular hair.
I hope he grows it out again. That would be awesome.
He should have been doing shampoo commercials with that hair.
I know. I saw a picture of him. I didn't believe it.
Oh, fantastic. Let's go to fan drawing number 2.
There's not really much to go off of here. Do you have the answer?
I have the answer.
Is it a forward or defenseman?
It is a defenseman.
Landry. I don't know. Landry?
Cameron Saprika.
Yeah, I didn't have much to go off of there.
Yeah, that one little tough. I think the tip off there might have been the height. I think they were going for height on that one.
I don't know. Drawing
number 3, a forward. There is a number there.
Yeah, what? 5. Is that 25? Davis Young?
Boom. Davis Young it is.
It is?
It is Davis Young.
There we go.
You've got 2 of them. And drawing number 4, a forward from the London area, 02 birthday. He's in your draft class.
Yeah, it actually kind of looks like him. Diaco?
Georgie Diaco.
Yeah, it kind of looks like him. That's not bad.
That 02 class, the class that keeps on giving. And I apologize to George. I forgot him earlier when I was going through that list. And another guy, just incredible offensive talent.
Yeah.
All right, we're staying in the forward group.
Looks like a lefty, blue eye. Is it a lefty? Is it a lefty?
I think he's a lefty.
Blue eye, lefty. Shirk?
Lawson Shirk.
Wow.
Sits behind me on a bus. Not sure I trust that guy.
I wouldn't either.
I'm kidding. I like having them. Like, it's a lot of fun.
No, who you got to watch out for behind you is Humphrey. That's who you got to watch out for.
I've heard that. That's what I've been warned about. We get along, though, despite the Ohio State-Michigan thing. We get along.
Yeah, you got to watch out for him.
Okay, next drawing. And well, I think there's a couple of giveaways here.
Oh, yeah. Calendar. That's Rosie.
Zach Roy.
Yeah. Calendar, Ontario.
And the last one. This is a great drawing.
Is that Renwick?
That is Michael Renwick.
Yeah, that looks just like him. I can tell by the stride and everything and how he holds his stick. The shin pad.
I want to find out who drew that because I think we should get them to draw a few more players for us.
Yeah, I can. The shin pads give it away. Fun fact: Renwick actually has the worst shin pad style in the whole OHL.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he's up there.
Why is that?
I don't know. Everyone it's hard to have bad shin pad style. Especially if you tuck over the skate. Everyone does it the same, but I think his shin pads are 3 sizes too big or something. It just looks clunky, and sometimes he doesn't use clear tape, so I always give it to him.
Now, I'll tell you a funny story. I remember playing inline hockey, playing in Hamilton where I grew up, and what we used to do in the room is we'd get high voltage or danger tape and put that around the inline pants on the shin pads. Why? We thought it looked cool when we were 16. When you look back on it now, you're kind of like, what was I? Why did I do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just stick with the clear.
Well, Logan Morrison confirmed Renwick worst shin pad style in the league.
Terrible.
We have confirmation.
Who gets it? Yeah, it's confirmed. It's confirmed by one player on the team. I'm sure if other guys were in here, they would confirm it too. It's bad.
If Michael Renwick is paying attention to this, there's nothing I can do about it. It's forward and confirmed. Laura, I believe this is Laura Barney, is asking me a question. How long have I been growing the beard? This actually is only a couple of weeks. I trimmed it up when I knew we were going to be doing these. So
there we go.
Oh, it keeps on coming. Frank Jenkins. I agree. That's the worst I've seen.
Tuggy.
If there are any of the other players watching on right now, feel free to chime in. We're talking about Michael Renwick.
Confirm it.
The motion brought forward by Avery Hayes is the worst in the league. It's been confirmed by Logan Morrison and further by Frank Jenkins.
I'm pretty sure Steve had to say something to him because he wasn't using clear tape and his socks were hanging down to his skates. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I'm pretty sure Steve had to say something to him. That
is something else. Have you seen anybody else in the league try something like that?
No, I don't know what he does. I couldn't tell you. It's just not good.
Okay, so in advance of this interview with Avery Hayes, we opened it up online to put a few questions from fans they might be in the chat here, but in advance of this to be submitted. So. Let's start off with McCallie, who is 7 years old. Do you still talk to any of the other Bulldogs during the offseason?
Yeah, we all talk. I talk to them probably every day on Snapchat. We always just check in on each other, see how we're doing, see what we're up to, stuff like that.
Next one up is Nick from Michigan. I think you may know who this is. Who was your favorite driver in Hamilton?
Oh, Dono. Dono. Dono drove me around for a whole year. Oh, basically a whole year. I had Ben Garrigan drive me around for a bit, but Dono.
Hello to Nick Donofrio. Hope he's doing well. What is your favorite video game?
Right now, probably NHL 20. I played that a lot. I just got into it. I never really played Shelldown. I never really played video games that much, but I've been playing Shell 20 a lot. I play Fortnite with all my buddies too. That's about it. I'm not a big video game guy.
What is the appeal of Fortnite? This is I've looked at this game. I don't quite get it.
Yeah, I feel like it's just because it's kind of easy, and okay. I just play because I get to be in a party and squad and talk to all my friends. That's only like I'm not the best at it. Like I can stay alive, but I'm not gonna be dominant. I'm not gonna be dominant in the game. I'll just be good.
My friends used to do that with Call of Duty, and I was absolutely terrible.
I tried getting on with Call of Duty to play with Frank, but it's like called Warzone, I think. Warzone. I can't. It's too like I'm trying to like keep up with the game. I can't see where any guys are. People are shooting at me. I can't run from them. I'm so used to Fortnite.
It's like got all sorts of players in it. There's guys coming from everywhere.
Yeah, it's terrible. I tried. I'm gonna try again. I'll try someday, but for now, Call of Duty's not my thing.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Hope you're well and staying safe. What do you think of the draft selection for the team moving forward? So I believe this is referring to the Bulldogs' recent draft. Jorian Donovan, Jonathan Malee already committed. It seemed like another draft, Avery, of really high-end talent that could arrive with this team. Not a whole lot of open spots just at the moment, but it seems like the pipeline is stacked.
Yeah, it's exciting. I don't know too much about them. I think they're from both of them Ottawa area.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. And they both played U18s last year, and I saw their stats and saw that they were dominating the U18 level. So it's going to be exciting to have them. It won't be too big of an adjustment for them if they're already playing up a couple years. So I'm sure they'll be able to step in and find their groove right away.
They came out of the HEO, Hockey East Ontario loop, same one that produced probably most famously recently Mason McTavish, who was another player, 15-year-old, played in that group. So definitely Malee and Donovan, who've already signed, will have that easier adjustment path. I mean, it's obviously still going to be a jump coming to the OHL, but having already played U18's got to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, see now McTavish had a good year this year, so it shouldn't. If they can follow the same path, then it'll be good.
Another question: what is your favorite type of music?
Rap. I like my favorite people right now I like Lil Baby. Just came out with a new album. Drake, Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I like all the rappers, and I'll listen to country from time to time too. If it's like a sunny day out, I'll go sit outside, listen to country music. But
and now you're in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
When it comes to country music. Well, this one it rolls well into it. What is your favorite song off of Lil Baby's new album? I gotta be honest with you, when I saw this, I thought it might have been a joke, and I didn't get it. I did not know who Lil Baby was.
No, I know who asked that. My buddy asked that. Shout out Harry. But favorite song, "Something to Prove." You won't know it, but it's a good song.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't like it either, but
if it doesn't have a 6-string guitar in it, you're already outside my wheelhouse.
It might have a guitar somewhere, but I don't know.
All right. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll catch up on that when we get back to playing, and I'll give it a try. Okay, this one, we had something like this with Nate, and I will warn you immediately. Be careful in your answer, but this is a family-related question. Who is your favorite uncle? Is it Dale or Bobby?
Oh, God. Both of them.
That's the right answer.
Yep.
Because I take no responsibility for what happens at the next family dinner after that.
Yeah.
So, and of course, once our questions have been asked, it's up to me to pick a lucky number for a prize for the questions that were asked. And because Avery Hayes wears number 13, we're going to go with number 3 is the lucky number. You will win a Bulldogs prize that will be able to be picked up once we get onto the other side of all this pandemic madness. And hopefully that will be sooner rather than later. At least that's what we're all really hoping for. Fingers crossed. Mm-hmm. Couple more before we let you go, Avery. Terry, we went over this a little bit earlier, but if you're joining late, how do you feel about playing against your brother this upcoming season? As we mentioned earlier, Avery's brother Gavin, a first-round selection of the Flint Firebirds.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I've never played against him in like a real game before. Obviously, we skate together a lot in practice. I always practice with his team, so it'll be new, but it'll be fun. It'll be weird lining up against him, but I'll get used to it. A couple shifts in, we'll be good.
Avery, one of the things that I really wanted to ask you, because you're an 02 birth date, but because you're later in the year, you missed the draft cutoff, the NHL draft cutoff for this year's draft. So you're draft eligible in the 2021 NHL entry draft. How much is that on your mind? Do you think about that at all? Do you think the extra year of time is going to give you a little bit of a leg up coming through it?
Yeah, I feel like the extra year is going to be huge for me, especially because I'm a smaller guy, so I need to put on strength and weight, and just like obviously another year won't hurt because I'm just learning more and more, just becoming a better player. And then it's going to be in the back of my mind. Obviously, it's like what I worked for my whole life to try to get drafted in the NHL. So it'll be in the back of my mind, but always put the team first.
Your line mate Logan Morrison, along with another teammate in Jan Mysak, both rated in Central Scouting's last group. Of course, Jan Mysak likely to go right now. It looks like late first, early second round. I think he should be a lot higher. The one that kind of drives me a little bit crazy is Logan Morrison. People saying, well, is he going to get drafted or not? I personally think if you don't draft Logan Morrison, you're crazy. That kind of hockey IQ does not come along very often. Can you kind of make the case for your line mate? Because I think we're on the same page that somebody needs to pick him.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I think he should be easily top 3 rounds playing with him. Just seeing his like hockey IQ. Hockey IQ is something that you can't teach either. Like whatever they think his weaknesses is, you can teach skating, you can teach stick handling, you can't teach hockey IQ, and he's one of the smartest players I've ever played with. He always is in the right spot, always finds a way to score, easy to play with, easy to make plays with, great teammate off the ice, leader too. So I don't see how you could pass up on him for 7 rounds. If you have 7 picks, I don't see you could pass up on him.
Exactly. That's the same thing I'm thinking of. I think somebody is going to get a steal because he's only going to get better and better, and you're going to have a big part in that, I'm sure. Last one here, I think it's Aaron asking, what is your favorite part of being on the road with the team?
Just hanging with the guys. Me and my roommate, Mark Duarte, we're roommates. We have a bunch of the guys in the room all the time. We'll play the PS4, we'll play Shell. We all just hang out in there, listen to music, relax, get ready for the game the next day, talk about the game. But we're all close, so it's always fun being with them away from the rink because we're with them nonstop in the rink. But seeing everyone outside the rink is it's fun.
So as we start to wrap this thing up here, again, our thanks to our friends at First Ontario Credit Union for putting this on. We could not do this without them. Pleasure to catch up with Avery Hayes. We'll also mention that coming up on the Bulldogs live streams, you'll see Nathan Staios in NHL 20. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. He'll go 7 to 8. Liam Van Loon coming up on May the 14th, 3 to 4. And then Tag Bertuzzi and Arthur Kaliev, NBA 2K20. That's on May the 21st from 11 a.m. till noon. Coming up on our show next, Friday, May the 8th at 11 a.m. is Cameron Saprika. That's 2 days from now. Make sure you get in your questions for Cameron. Friday, May the 15th at 4 p.m., Logan Morrison and Ryan Winterton will join me. And then again, on my birthday, May the 22nd, looking forward to this one, Liam Van Loon and Tag Bertuzzi will be on the show as once again you see Cameron Saprika, next one up to sit in the hot seat here on Bulldogs Live. Avery Hayes, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to catch up with you, and really can't wait to get back around the rink with you.
Yeah, it was fun, Reader. Thanks for having me.
You bet, anytime. And hopefully once we get back to a little bit more normalcy around the team, we'll get back together to do the live Bulldogs Benched podcast once again, too.
For sure.
All right. My thanks to Hamilton's own Michigan Magic Man, Avery Hayes, who will no doubt be starring for the Bulldogs once we get back to OHL hockey. As we close out, once again, our thanks to First Ontario Credit Union. You can reduce stress and make life a little bit easier financially. Want to consolidate credit card balances or loans to make managing debt easier and more affordable? First Ontario's fully protected loan special with rates as low as 5.24% for a 5-year fixed rate is available remotely. How fantastic is that? Without the need to visit a branch. Visit firstontario.com for all of the details. Thanks, as always, to our partners at First Ontario, our friends there, for making this possible. Once again, we'll see you on Friday, May 8th, 2 days from now, when we'll have Cameron Soprika live. Take care of yourselves, and thanks once again for joining us here on Bulldogs Live.